Hello, I'm Des Foley, Director of Services here in Meath County Council, and I have responsibility for our emergency services and civil defence. As you know, the Covid-19 pandemic is an emergency situation that has required a comprehensive national response. The various measures put in place have had a significant impact on all our lives, but have also required Meath County Council and our staff to be at the front line in terms of planning for the worst, protecting the most vulnerable in our communities, and helping to ensure that the public health measures are implemented effectively across the county. In this regard, the Council has worked closely with the HSE, An Garda Síochána, and others at local and regional levels. We have a well-established process for dealing with major emergencies, such as weather-related events. This, however, is an emergency of a different nature, and one of the things we've had to do was revise our mass fatality plan in light of the very serious threat posed by Covid-19. From this, the Council sourced additional mortuary capacity and worked closely with the County Coroner to ensure that we had the correct procedures in place to deal efficiently and compassionately with a potential high number of fatalities. Fortunately, this has not been required to date. We are continuing to meet on a weekly basis with the HSE, the Gardaí and other local authorities in monitoring the situation and taking action as necessary. This working in partnership will be as important in the next phases as it was during the lockdown period. Our emergency services, including our fire service and civil defence, have been centrally involved in the efforts to date, and they and key council staff stand ready to respond to all emergency situations. Padraig O'Lunig, Acting Chief Fire Officer, and Michael Fitzsimons, our Civil Defence Officer, will now say a little about how they are dealing with the Covid-19 situation locally.
The principal objective of Meath County Fire and Rescue Service is to take all necessary measures to ensure the protection of life, property and the environment. This is done primarily through fire prevention, community fire safety and the attendance at incidents which may involve fire, road traffic collision or other emergency. I am Padraig O'Lunig, Acting Chief Fire Officer, over a total of 76 firefighters and officers across the 7 fire stations in County Meath. In February 2019, Meath Fire Service was the first in the country to receive ISO 45001 Health and Safety accreditation, which demonstrates that we operate to the highest of standards across the organisation. Throughout this Covid-19 crisis, we have been responding to emergency incidents as we normally would. The number of call-outs has been slightly lower than typical, and some of the work that we do in terms of fire prevention and community fire safety has been curtailed because of the restrictions in place. However, critical inspections are ongoing and we continue to maintain a full operational service, even though the nature of the Covid-19 virus has meant that we have had to adapt and respond accordingly. Our crews are following additional precautionary measures when attending incidents, such as the use of extra PPE, and we are fully adhering to national guidelines and protocols. We have well-established arrangements in place and continue to maintain close cooperation with other fire services in the region to ensure that there will be adequate fire service response, no matter what emergency situation may develop.
I'm Michael Fitzsimons, Civil Defence Officer here with Meath County Council. The Civil Defence is a national volunteer organisation with 3,500 volunteers based in each local authority throughout the country. In Meath, we currently have 188 volunteers, of which almost 100 are actively involved in the Covid-19 tasks with Civil Defence. We are utilising 15 of our vehicle fleet, including 3 ambulances, 7 four-wheel drive vehicles, 3 minibuses, 1 people carrier and 1 van. Some of our vehicles have been fitted with perspex screens to provide added protection for our volunteers and patients, in addition to using appropriate PPE. Most of our taskings are coming through the Council's Community Forum helpline, the Meath Partnership Food Initiative Coordinator, with some also coming from the HSE Public Health System. The tasks we have undertaken on a daily basis typically include transporting patients to and from health centre and hospital clinic appointments, as well as some test centre appointments. We are doing some medication deliveries and deliveries of personal care items to hospital patients and delivery of PPE. We are also delivering food and some essential supplies to vulnerable people in their homes. Our volunteers have been getting a tremendous response from everybody we have been engaging with. For so many, it is an opportunity to get out of the house and have some new human interaction, and the volunteers are really enjoying the opportunity to work with and help people in the community.
The purpose of this video message is to give you some insight into how the Council has had to respond to the Covid-19 crisis and how our staff and volunteers have delivered essential emergency services to the people of Meath. Our emergency services are very committed, well equipped and trained to ensure that whatever the situation, they are there to help, to apply their training and experience and to protect those that need their services. During the Covid-19 crisis, they have been ably supported by Council staff across all departments and have worked in tandem with many other agencies, organisations and local community groups. It has been and will continue to be a challenging time for all of us, but I want to thank all our volunteers and staff for their tireless work to date, and also to thank our colleagues from the other bodies who we have supported and likewise have assisted us. Times of crisis can test the best of us, but I hope that with this video we have shown that our emergency services in Meath have passed the test and will continue to stand ready for whatever will happen next. Thank you.